Awesome. Here to watch some magic again. We're back. Mean 16. Today, Leptis with us, and me are gonna be commentating some of these battles. Let's see what they are up to. Leptis, do we have a understanding of how long it's gonna take before they are starting the game? Have we learned that yet?
We don't have exact information, but the game is being set up. Top of the morning chance in the chat. We're getting set up. We have the room or the lobby ready, and we have a couple of people from the joining our pod today. We have them online, at least in the Discord, and I think there's some discussion being done behind the scenes that we are not yet fully aware of, but
yeah,
things are proceeding according to schedule. Most
awesome.
likely here. So let's give it around 5 to 10 minutes and see how the developments appear. Probably Clay, he's working around in the background, so he will probably also keep us up to date with the chat being our guide, as well as if he hops in voice. That's also a channel. We can be approached by multiple channels here, visual and audio. So
well, multitasking is a very important skill to have. So
all right, we have Clay already conducting an interview through the chat. Once left, just what are the projects are you guys working on? Well, that's a very good question.
Me currently, I'm gonna almost say it's a secret because I'm planning on bringing my project to a tournament that's happening in Denmark. And instead of marketing my own project, I would like to mention that there's gonna be a big tournament in Copenhagen, the 13th to 15th of Mars. No, sorry, August. August.
Yeah.
Yes. And my big project is like getting everything prepped for that date. It's a long time forward, but I wanna nail that one.
A couple of months can be either a very long time or a very short time, depending on your everyday as well as the things you have to prepare for it. So
yeah, like going to a tournament or going to a big event, there's a lot of things to schedule, like how are you gonna travel there, how are you gonna sleep there, what you need to bring, what you don't need to bring, and such. And I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be awesome to meet a lot of people that are into this scene. So are we gonna have the pleasure of you maybe joining that too, Leptis?
Most likely, yes. I'm planning on. I do have the dates open. I could say that much. So
yeah.
If the current state of affairs, as per global pandemic and so on, are feasible enough for me to travel to Denmark and Copenhagen, I will absolutely join you, or join the tier 1 people there. I've had the pleasure of playing with the in the tournaments, in the couple of tournaments, the 3 first tournaments during this spring. So
there's a question about my budget cEDH, but I actually want to hear more about what Leptis is up to now, because I haven't watched that much of your live stream, because I'm actually live streaming the exact same time.
Exactly. We are we are streaming like exactly at the same time.
Yes.
So we rarely cross streams, but when we do, it's always a pleasure. Although, like, yeah, it's mostly like it's pretty funny that there's the 2 extremes of one being entirely on a different time zone wrestling class, so that when you're streaming, everybody is sleeping or working, or in the case of Mons and I, it's streaming at the same time.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, busy with something else.
Well, we are kind of in the same time zone. I mean, there's a question from the chat. What is Leptis' favorite commander? I'm just gonna guess here, Gitrog. Or if not Gitrog, it's Crom and the black-green Ikra, maybe.
Ikra Shidiki. Both are very good guesses. I've been playing Gitrog for a while, since 2017, the era of 2017. But there's actually a very long time since I've last played Gitrog Monster, like seriously.
It's kind of fallen off, in my opinion, if you kind of ask me. Is that like why you've moved a bit less Gitrog?
Maybe there's multiple reasons for it. There's creative stagnation, one thing. There's also the fact that I don't really like A plus B that much in terms of combo decks. I like the critical mass. I like the Yagmoth wheels. I like the ad nauseams. I am the dirty guy. I like, and I also with Gitrog, I like the snowballing with the lands instead of going A plus B, which the deck has streamlined itself into over the past few years. But yeah, I think we have the game opening up. We have all the people.
Yes. And in this match, I'm just gonna. We have Michael, the mono white Heliod Masters. Then we have Undas playing something you often play sometimes, Crom and Ikra. And Killstars on Tumna, Crom, and then a Bad Dog on Kalia. Obviously Kalia.
Yeah, we have this is the pod 1 of the round 4 of this tournament. And there's also one thing I need to clear up with everybody watching. There's this is the equalizing ELO equalizing pod that we have here. So we have 2 people from the top bracket in terms of score, and then we have 2 people from the bottom bracket in terms of score. And we are going to the extremes here. So Killstars is the one with the highest score so far in the mean 16 tournament ladder, and then we have a Bad Dog in the upper mid. Then we have Michael in the lower mid, and then we have Ondas in the lowest elo or points position. So this is the chance for Ondas and for Michael to catch up, because if they get wins against Killstars and Bad Dog, they will get a lot of points to even out the score and get a better ranking. And as per normal tournament rulings, we are first randomizing. If I remember correctly, yeah, they are randomizing here. Yes. And the roles are so that Killstars would be going first with the roll of 14.
And then they just continue like Michael second, Bad Dog, and Undas last.
Yes. Undas getting the short end of the stick once again.
Yeah,
I am voting for the underdog here. Like you said once, I have played Ikra Chrome, and I do love that partner combo. There is a partner combo that I love even more than Ikra Chrome, which I will allude to in a bit when we get this game going and the first fast turns are over.
I'm actually routing a little bit for Kalia and Heliod, because I want to see some of those not typical cEDH commanders shine a little bit and see if they have some cool strategies.
Exactly. Both of them have shown before this tournament, and even in this tournament ladder that we have Michael winning the I think it was DDM Gaming's live tournament I think it was in Philly.
And I don't remember where it was, and suddenly.
Yeah, like pretty much like in the Eastern Coast.
Yeah, close to New York, I think it was, if I might be almost correct.
Yeah, and I don't remember what Bad Dog has top 14, but he also has had at least also in this tournament ladder itself has had a pretty good score with Kalia. So, so and both are very interesting decks in terms of.
It looks like they are currently mulliganing, and poor Ondas is down to 5 cards in his opening hand. Going last and down to 5 is
That is actually a very expected thing to do when you're playing a deck like that, especially like when you're going last. You're compensating with like what I think Ondas is going for here. When he's going last, he's compensating for the fact that he's going last with the fastest humanly possible hand that he can mulligan into aggressively enough. And if he cannot get to a 5 or a 4 that's good enough, then he'll just keep the hand that has the fast mana to cast Chrome.
And he does have some fast mana. He has a Gemstone Caverns here.
Yep, that's very good. He's actually going first instead of last.
Yeah, you could say like that. Down to 3 cards. I mean, if he gets a wheel now, he's gonna be in a happy spot.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a Killstar on Imperial Seal, turn 1 from an Underground Sea.
Imp Seal. Get any card that's named Mana Crypt and put it on the top.
Correct.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I think this
most likely
yeah, I think this turn is gonna be quite key because this is the stacks player in this pod who's gonna put various things into play that's gonna affect the game in various directions. And
we have a very strong start there. A soaring from the first fast mana piece being cast by the stacks player is very promising in terms of slowing the whole table down.
I like Aetherveil. I really like Aetherveil.
Aetherveil is very interesting. Allows a lot of neat little tricks. I'm
Mystical
not
Tutor.
familiar. All right. There we go.
I'm gonna guess Time Twister or Wheel.
Yeah.
I would probably go Time Twister here because that would counter the Imperial Seal from Killstars. This also requires, of course, that he has that Soul Ring or Mana Crypt in his hand, but that would be a pretty good start for him.
Yeah, he could also have a ritual to get into that, like dark ritual or Rite of Flame or something like that.
Yes.
Going for the crop rotation.
Interesting. As a Ikra Crom player, what do you think he has in his hand if he's going for the crop rotation? Is like if you're now playing against Ondas, what do you predict that his plans are from that crop rotation?
Ancient Tomb, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything else. It could be a Boseiju, but I really doubt it. He needs to get the mana going. There we go.
And I guess it's a wheel here. I'm just gonna guess straight up wheel. Wheel of Misfortune. And his hand is empty. So that's a good start. That's a really good start.
Yeah, allows Killstars to get his card either way, but he's playing to his house, and that's very good when he's going last.
I mean, he's already produced a whole bunch of mana, like Ancient Tomb and the Gemstone Caverns. The only one that has more than a land in play is Michael with Sol Ring and Aetherveil.
Yeah, this is looking very good in terms of like this gets Ondas back in the game very well.
Yes. But it might be a little bit interesting depending on what Killstar's up to, because he's gonna get that card from the Imperial Seal in a whole new hand.
Yeah, most likely, unless he has a very good well, he wasn't really aggressive on his first turn, so I'm willing to bet that he's going to pay life into this wheel.
Yeah, it's a good question how much life you pay here. I mean, Michael is probably gonna pay a lot, forcing people to pump up a little bit.
Yeah, Bad Dog wants to wheel most likely because his opening turn wasn't that fast. Same for Killstars. Ondas definitely wants. So I think this is one of the rare cases where everybody really wants to get a fresh 7. So
I can really see how people are actually sitting there just thinking, should I go 5, 7, or 10? It's a tricky one.
Yeah, the number for the lottery today is going to be very exciting.
Yeah. What do you think of that wheel, by the way?
The card itself,
Yeah.
it's good. It's mostly a wheel for yourself. It's not a combo piece with Hull Breacher and Ocean Thief,
Yeah.
but like it's card advantage. It's 3 draw 7. That's always good. Most likely. Yeah, I like it when you're playing red, but it's definitely one of those cards that gets left out if your deck is really tight. So
Correct me if I've missed something, but we've seen a hand increase in Undas and Michael, but Killstar and Bad Dog is still on 6. What is the count they paid here? Can you see that?
So Michael paid 9. I can say that much, but no. And Ondas paid. Let's see. The only one who paid life so far in terms of the scores is Michael, who paid 9 life. None of the rest have paid any life yet, at least.
I'm guessing that Bad Dog and Killstar actually didn't wheel in that case. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this situation. You have an Underground Sea and an Ancient Tomb, which means either Oppo Agent or Hull Breacher, and he can do both, so...
Yeah, that's scary. And I think there's something along those lines being readied up. Ashes of the Abhorrent. There we go.
What does that card do? Would you enlighten us, please?
So it's a 2 mana enchantment for 1 generic and white. It says players can't cast spells from graveyards or activate abilities of cards in graveyards. And whenever a creature dies, you gain 1 life. And then he plays a land tax. So what this stops, it's basically Underworld Breach insurance, which that deck is loaded with.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I'm a little bit sad about is that is a great stacks piece that is good a little bit later. You probably want to have something with against Adnos and other card draw or search before you land that. But it's good to slam down.
Especially when you have the mana to put up those cards. I think that's like the against this pot, it's good. There's two decks that abuse Bridge. One of them being the Grixis Light from Killstars, and other one being Ondas's Icrom. Both of them are very much on the breach plan. If they can't get a noise or something along those lines of. Kalia is less on the breach. I think it also is. I can actually just look that up.
It also is, but it's more like it's not the main thing. It doesn't dig towards the breach as fast as the blue decks here.
Yeah, it's more of a Razaketh list in terms of the graveyard, which Ashes doesn't stop, but it does stop certain blood artists and
Rustic Study.
Loops like that. Yeah, Rustic is very good. Ondas is on the aggressive.
Yeah, I really like that he has an extra land too. So most counter spells in his decks are on 1. Killstars didn't do anything at the end step. Blood Crypt.
Yeah,
and now he's Dockside.
All right, Dockside is a card.
I see 6.
If not the card.
Yeah, if not the card. Well put.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's above the magic number 5. If you can get a Dockside for 5, you're most likely going to get an explosive turn, from my experience.
It will even be mana left over to pay for a counterspell against a counterspell.
Yeah, or cast both of your commanders. He definitely has the mana for.
Yeah. Yeah. Which isn't bad either, but I'm having a feeling something other is coming.
Yes, I do feel something like that. Also, there's also like he cannot be super duper aggressive unless he is greedy. Because of the heuristic. All right, so that circle, he's just going for it.
That is a finisher too. That is definitely a way to do it.
So the question is, does he have the Christmas land hand of consultation plus 2 counterspells?
Yeah.
Most likely not. Orim's Chant. I love that card. That is great.
That is not really doing it though, but it's making it all in.
Yes.
So in response here, he is casting Tainted Pact and he's gonna go for it. This means that either Killstar loses or Killstar wins. Kinda. And here we have a response from Undas cracking his fetch. He's up at 10 cards. I mean, the chance here of having something should be pretty good. Killstars has 2 cards in his hand, but 3 treasure, so... And like, even if Undas has more counterspell in his hand, he might only be able to use 1, so... You will see here.
Yeah, with 10 cards, there's a possibility of having a free counter as well, but I wouldn't count on it. I think it's just a one targeting the pact, most likely here.
I just realized that we forgot that Bad Dog could have some reds and Pyroblast too.
Yeah, they were very conservative with their hands. So if Killstars had this kind of hand, he definitely didn't want to wheel to that misfortune.
I think the Tainted Pact is actually resolving here.
Yeah, so he
That's what I'm guessing what's happening.
Yeah, he Ondas fetched, but didn't didn't do anything else.
All right.
Does that mean the game is over? Well, I guess
I don't think so. I think they want him to basically go all in here. That's what I'm guessing. It depends about what form of interaction they have in their hand.
Yeah, one thing that is very big thing to note here is that the table didn't accept the shortcut of Killstars just exiling his whole deck. So
yeah,
or he is looking for something, which is why he's one by one flipping the cards.
Yeah. I'm guessing that he could stop at the last card if the last card is like a force or for pact. Or no, sorry, he has 3 mana. He could stop at like a lot of different counter spells and. Wait, did he grab a card? Because now he hasn't exiled his entire library. Help me out here. Did you catch the card he grabbed?
Let's see.
Or wait, did he stop? His Orm's Chant is. We will see soon, I guess.
Yeah. The last cards were Gamble, Mystical Tutor, Verdict Catacombs, Grinding Station, Hall Breacher. Yeah, he picked the Hall Breacher. And he has the mana to cast this as well, so.
Yeah.
So he's holding the table hostage with that. At least on this heuristic study, if he plans to cast it rather sooner than later.
So no win yet. Actually, or Giver of Runes from Michael.
One among the many 1 CMC protected creatures that the deck has home in. You don't see that anywhere else, but in mono white, you will have the deck slots to fill those out.
Yeah, that is a sad way of putting it.
Yeah, I'm clearly just setting myself to eat up my words when Michael just somehow wins this game. But saying that he is the only stacks player in a tournament ladder full of turbo ad nauseum, he has had it rough, to be honest. So
that is a very rough spot to be in.
Yeah, both me and Mons are rooting for him to get some things in here. He's going for a Heliod.
Yeah. And he ticked up the Aether Veil by 2, so there could be surprise. He has 6 cards in hand, so he has stacks sticks together. That's a good way of putting it.
Sticks with an X, indeed.
Now, the only one that is, in my opinion, feeling left behind, but this is like cEDH, so it could be a dockside to change all of that. Bad Dog doesn't look in the best of shapes.
Yeah, Bad Dog was going third after the stacks player, so I don't know if he was actually counting on the fact that there's gonna be a turn 1 stacks piece that forces him to mulligan into a hand with a lot of lands to just keep in the game. I think that's the skirt perspective. That's his first actual non-land play.
Yeah.
So we'll see where he's going at.
Orm's Chant was also.
Orms.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized something really good here. The Orm's Chant was casted in response to Phasas, which means that if Phasas Orm's Chant has to resolve before Phasas, which means that Killstars won't be able to protect it with counterspells.
Yeah, that's also a fact. Good catch.
Let's see here. Ad nauseam. Nice.
All right, here we go. Ondas is
going for it.
Yeah, he's taking all the points home.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think it's gonna be hard for. It's resolving too. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's really hard for anyone but Killstars to interact with it. And he had a great turn 1. He had a great turn 2. Ristic Study probably helped out a little bit there too. So we're just watching Ondas dig through his deck, losing life and finding cards, figuring things out. He's at 16 remaining.
He got a Chromox and a Lotus Petal, at least in terms of fast mana. And protection, not yet, not that much. Thassa's Oracle is found as well. Yeah. Now he's at 16, and after the Oracle, he's thinking if he wants to.
He probably digs a little bit more.
Also, will that's a big punch, but he has protection now.
Yeah.
Carpet Flowers, Mana Vault. That's a lot of mana there. That's good.
Carpet is only 1 though. That's a Blood Crypt, and Carpet doesn't.
Carpet is fixing. Yeah,
that's true. That is still good.
Yes, Grim Monolith, Mana Vault. Mana Vault plus Grim Monolith is 4. Lotus Petal is 5. The land is 6.
We did see a Phasas Oracle. Did we see the Consult or Tainted here?
No.
You have better eyes on the text than I do.
Not yet.
Ah.
He has the only tutor that he got was a Bracer's Grasp.
That should still do it. If he can find the mana, that will be a lot of mana.
He decides to keep.
Yeah.
And the ad nauseam is resolved. Let's see what he got in his hand. He had a Ristic Study, so he might just have the Consult in his hand as well. Who knows?
That's true. That is true. He had 8 cards when that thing began.
All right, there we go. The 8th pile is tapped. The 8th pile is tapped.
Phyrexian Revoker.
On Mana Vault. Michael with the gotcha.
Yeah.
The tables have flipped.
That works, right? You're allowed to stop mana abilities with that thing.
Yes. Yeah, just non-lands, but it stops mana abilities.
That is so cute. That is so cute. You gotta be creative with your stacks.
Yeah, like out of all the pithing needle-like effects, Phyrexian Revoker is probably the only one who could stop a mana vault. So a very timely play there. But that is gonna slow Ondas down. But is he going to stop? Is it going to stop him?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, he did find a bunch of other things there. His hand is packed. He could probably also. I saw a gamble in there, so he could.
Yeah, he pitched Wheel of Fortune to Chromax, so he's probably going for the gamble as well. Then he needs one more colored source to be just Oracle Consult and win the game.
Yeah. And he does have Force of Will there, I think you said.
Yes,
so
that he does
have. Chat, I don't think he has anything in his deck that costs 9 mana, but I do think he plays Peer into the Abyss, and going down to 2 is an odd number to be at.
Yeah, he definitely plays Peer, and I think he's just playing around that, or he just thought that, okay, this is enough. I have protection. I have everything I need, except a way to deal with a tapped Aether Vial for.
Yes.
But how often do you play around that? Maybe Ondas knows to play around it now that he's been playing in this ladder for 4 to 5 weeks now. So yeah, there's the gamble.
Yes. I'm just gonna guess that this is for Demonic Consultation. Can't do Breach, because there's this awesome cool enchantment from the mono white player that says no Breach.
Yes, Ashes of the Abhorrent. Can't
That
cast spells from graveyards. So he's discarding the Veil of Summer from hand.
Yeah.
All right, Dockside. That gives him the mana.
Yeah, that should just solve all problems, because he did have a Praetor's Grasp in his hand too. So with the Dockside, there should be enough mana to do whatever he wants.
And naturally, Killstars is sacking the treasures and getting that whole Breacher out.
Yeah, good response.
Because he's at the mana floating.
Is he getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, six should do the job. That's a big dock. Big goblin.
Yeah.
That's the only mana he has though, but Praetor's Grasp, Demonic Consultation, Fastest, and his
with Force of Will backup. I think that's game.
And now Killstar is no mana, 2 cards, could interact. Yeah, Chromox. So with a Chromox, he can probably cast a 1 CMC counterspell.
Okay, interesting. He didn't use the colored mana that he was very hungry of, but he used it for a Grim Monolith for that 1 extra colorless mana. All right, so okay, I don't know if he's just going plus minus here.
I think that is plus minus. Using 2 mana to cast Grim Monolith, using the Grim Monolith to cast Arcane.
Increasing
that is literally just. That is true. That is true.
I don't know if that makes much sense unless he has like a Flusterstorm, but like even then, the storm count is quite high already.
Yeah.
Unless he's going for like, there's also the fact that he could go for a brain freeze play, but then he would have to do a lot more game actions than a Consult Oracle.
Yeah.
To win this game, because there's the Ashes preventing him from doing that stuff.
Sacking 2 treasures, I'm guessing.
He at least tapped those. He's thinking.
All right.
He's thinking what to guess. All right, so Jessica's will.
That's a good play. Just fuel a little bit more power.
And ironically, the mono white player is the one with the most cards in hand. So he targets
That is
Michael.
He doesn't get both actions. Just realized he gets either mana or the exile.
He needs to get the mana.
I think so too.
Yeah, he got the mana. He got the mana. He's counting the.
Ah, there it is on the side. Oh wait, he did cast a Fellower Stone. Abrupt Decay, Hull Breacher. All right. I'm guessing that he has a Vamp Tutor that he wanna use to just vamp up Demonic and then draw Demonic. Lion's Eye Diamond. His pathway looks more breachy than.
Yeah, it's according to known information. Like there has to be something in his hand that we don't know that affects his line of thinking here, because according to public information, a grasp for a consult on kill stars would be game on the spot.
Yes, I don't think. Okay, he's Noxus Revivaling up the Abrupt Decay. I'm guessing he actually is going for the Breach combo. I'm guessing he's gonna destroy that enchantment over there with the Abrupt Decay now. Just draw a card.
This is definitely some big brain lines right here.
Yeah, I'm certain this gotta be a Breach pathway. Did Killstar exile Demonic Concentration from the Tainted Pact? I don't think he did that.
I don't think either. Nope, he didn't.
Oh. And Windfall. Oh. He has Abrupt Decay on top of his deck.
Yes, he is most likely going to crack the LED, but he is taking his sweet time to do it.
He cracks Lion's Eye Diamond, he don't draw 18, he will draw 5.
That's true. He is the one with the biggest hand, so.
But then again, no one else is also gonna draw it. Everyone else is also gonna draw 18.
Yeah, that's the sacrifice that he's willing to make.
Yeah. He But he doesn't have. He only has Abrupt Decay on top. We don't know what else he has.
He's also getting rid of the Thassa's Oracle, but now that he's, I think he's shoehorning himself to the breach lines, which makes him want to look for a tutor or for breach itself, and then just play everything that he discarded to the windfall, including Thassa's Oracle. Or just if you get a brain freeze or something, you can just go critical mass with that. Most likely Ondas is winning this game, but how? That's the question here.
This is typical puzzling. Pass CD. Red Elemental Blast from Bad Dog.
There's Force of Will.
Force of Will.
Do we have a Pyroblast from the Skirt Prospector?
Yeah, he could do that.
Bad Dog being the police with a Mardu deck of all things.
Yeah, Orim's Chant, then Pyro. Doing cool work. But no. Force is too good. That's Force of Will. Iron Will.
With a lot of Fs.
Yes.
Before as initials.
Yeah, everyone is drawing 16. Windfall happens. You will Lotus.
So the thing is, people have
yeah.
more tools to deal with the threat, but they don't have much mana left anymore.
No.
And there's also the fact that, well, there's a snap on the dock side, which gives him all the mana. But yeah, they have to disrupt here if they can. But to exile, that works.
That definitely works. That definitely works.
Does Ondas remember his Ristic Study trigger? I think they're elaborating on that. Yes, he remembers. He didn't pay. Michael didn't pay. Ondas drew one card. And there's the Pact Abdication. He's got it. He's got it all, folks.
Yep.
But then again, he's through like the 2/3 of his deck, so he most likely has seen a lot of free counter spells so far. Yeah, Ondas is taking this game by storm.
Yeah. If that dockside, if that snap resolves, I don't think there's an interaction from Killstars.
No, Killstars is would be very. there would be many opportunities for Killstars to force a will or do something like that. Yeah. Except he does have the new hand now, so I didn't pay.
And he gets the trigger. 6 treasures.
6 is still more than enough.
So he has an Abrupt Decay and 11 other random unknown cards. That is his graveyard? Yeah, that's his graveyard.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of power in there. Yeah, he does have, if he just has the breach here, he wins, I think. Yeah, he does. There's a gamble. He can just gamble Brain Freeze. Or he has gamble Tainted Pact. There's a Facets Oracle already down there, and he has the Lion's Diamond.
Yeah.
And he can get rid of the enchantment.
If he gets a breach, or a tutor for breach, it's pretty much over.
Yes.
And I think with 12 cards in hand and with all the mana, like it's at this point it's rarely a matter of what cards he has anymore because quantity replaces quality.
Yes.
But he is taking his sweet time thinking here, so
yeah. I'm guessing that some of his combo lines are a little bit, I don't know, different wave
they
shape.
have been convoluted and calculated so far. So we might still go with that record on record playing. So there's a Cabal Ritual with easy threshold, getting him 5 black.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's just thinking about the sequencing here and playing around like possible outs because he hasn't won. I don't think he has won. Has he won a single game this ladder? Like in terms of points. In terms of points, I don't think he has, but I don't know the exact results of each and every game in this tournament. So, but like he's definitely in terms of the score that he has, he definitely wants to make sure that he gets this win in because he has suffered many losses. That I can say for sure in this ladder.
And if he wins here, he beats Killstars, which is gonna increase his points a little bit more, I guess.
Yes.
Great.
So he will get from each opponent. He will get the half of their points average, which will bring him a lot of points, bringing him probably to the mid high standings.
You know, it's not always.
It's also of course the if he wins this round. So like there's a couple of rounds still coming up before he can seal those points in.
And it's not always about winning the tournament entire. It's just getting in there and performing well with your deck and your performance. Sometimes you just don't win because there's so many other things that are just happening for you. But getting in there, performing really well, playing a really complicated combo and going completely through it. It feels great, even though you don't take home the entire tournament.
Yeah, it's also, I think it's a matter of honor for Ondas to take his street cred back.
Yes.
Now that he hasn't won that many games. But as many people have already said in this tournament, commentators and players alike, that none of these players are bad players. They're actually not all of these people have at least stopped for a tournament. But
yes.
Seeing that I've also played with Ondas, I've played with many people in this tournament. Personally, I can say that they are very good players, each and every one of them.
But when you go up against other good players, that is when it gets tricky.
Yeah, and that's when you also get turns like this where people are very elaborate with their plays and very calculating and they have had the time to familiarize themselves with what how other people play and what cards they play. So when comparing to a person who goes blindly to a metagame and starts playing and comboing off, they don't have to think about as much things because they're not familiar, they're learning. But these people have had the time to learn how the other people play.
But it's also that when you go there blindly, sometimes people don't know your deck enough. And here everyone knows each other pretty well.
Exactly. It's just a matter of does the saturation of information slow you down more than the absence of information? So Jewel Lotus is being cracked, and he plays Chrome. Yeah, that he did.
Oh no! Oh
That's
no!
not a
that
good
is
sign.
not a good sign. Oh, do we gonna see a passive turn here? That is really scary because look at the hand size around the table.
Yeah, if he passes turn here, Ondas is as good as history. I can say that much.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. The money consultation. He is 100% going for the breach here. I'm so sure.
This is a win. Unless I guess what he was thinking about, is there a different way of getting here? Because if that is the top 6 cards, it is sadly over.
Brain Freeze went in from the top 6, but he will be getting the breach. So
yeah, he doesn't need Brain Freeze here.
He doesn't need it. He can just play Oracle Consult from the grave and go off.
Yes. Yeah, we should. This should be a win. This just should be a win.
Yeah, this
I'm
is.
guessing. I wonder a little bit why he played Crom. I just realized that playing Crom is really risky.
Yeah, he also needs to get rid of the ashes, so that's one hurdle from him to
Yes.
still.
But that should be solved
with the abrupt decay. Yeah.
There is a super risky thing here. If Bad Dog has a random 1 red instant speed spell, he can kill Ondas with Chrome. Yeah. If I'm understanding correctly, Bad Dog has played 1 red Elementa Blast this round, nothing else.
Right, Chain of Vapor to Dockside, he's
good choice.
Yeah, he can
Real good choice.
He can also copy it straight away to bounce the ashes as well.
Yeah.
Which he's most likely going to do here.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care about any of his permanents being bounced by carpet.
No.
By the change.
He's probably gonna bounce everything here, like Mana Crypt and Chromox and yeah, maybe Grim Monolith.
Apparently, he thinks he has enough mana to just skip right into the ashes. The question is Michael going to bounce something from him? Maybe the stick.
Michael could actually bounce land tax here, just to decrease that dockside, but I don't think it matters. But
is he thinking about it, or is the stack already empty? We will not know. Not yet.
Yes, Spleen Face. That he could have a deflecting or guardianship in his hand, but he could also just almost pay for it without costing the Chrome. But 2 mana less fierce guardianship, or 2 mana less deflecting SWAT.
Yeah, I think he atoned for the deflecting SWAT. Yeah, that he did, and it got discarded with the windfall. So
Yeah,
so
true.
it's guardianship and maybe like preparing for a Jessica's Will number 2, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, that deck isn't that big either. He could almost just draw out his deck and try to breach. No, Fasas. Don't think he's gonna do that though.
Consult is the easier way, pretty much. It's just 2 game actions now, and he has won the game.
Yeah. So first step cost Fasa, second step demonic.
Yeah, I think he's explained to the table that
Yeah,
proposing a shortcut where you will die at this point. We cannot hear. Let it be known that we cannot hear the table talk going on, but I'm assuming as much.
I'm just sitting here and wondering if actually Badog has that instant speed red card. I don't think he does, but it would be the sad end of it.
Killstar is pointing from Ondas' Spellware Stone to the Chrome. I don't know what he's trying to signal here, or if it was a misclick of some sort.
That's true. That is true, Spleen. He can save himself with the Noxus. The Noxus is down there in the grave. More mana! Rain of Filth! How much mana does he?
Yeah, maybe the elaboration of... I don't know. I don't know why he cast the Chrome. Yeah, there's Jessica's Will. Okay, there's the Jessica's Will. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's why he cast Chrome. We have the answer right there.
Yeah. That's 16 red mana.
Yeah, Ondas is really taking his time to stranglehold the table.
Yeah. If he has 4 cards remaining in his deck, he wins with just casting Fasas without even anything else. And he will have the remaining cards in exile so he can cast them 2. That's a phantasmal image for another dockside. Oh, or that's a phantasmal image for a Fasas Oracle over there too. Pact of was no, he can't cast Pact of Negation.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
all right. That's game. Going to on that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one for him, and he is getting to be last right after this game in the next game again.
he was dead last start here. But we really saw some amazing plays for him. Like the start of the game, his hand was empty. He wheeled a new hand. He got that Rhystic Study, Oddnos after a few counter wars with that first Fasas Oracle. And then, yeah.
Yeah, he mulliganed hard, being the last in the pod, and that's the correct thing to do, playing a deck like that. He knew what he was going for, and the risk paid off. London mulligans, people use those mulligans if you possibly can, because they are way better than Vancouver's at least.
Yes. So we are gonna see another game with this pod, I believe.
Yes, for this whole
Segment.
day, it's for this segment that we have today. It's basically this pod going at it for a total of 4 rounds. And the first round is now over, and there'll be 3 more coming. And first person to 2 wins, as Clay said in the chat. And it's up to 5 games. So if everybody goes for 1 win, then we will have a 5th game, possibly. But the pod order, that's going to be decided on the first one randomly, second one I don't know if the first 3 are randomized, but the one who won the first game is going last. So Ondas will be going last again. Then the 3rd game will be randomized, and the 4th game will be going so that the one who won the 3rd game will go last. And then the 5th one, if that happens, will be also randomized completely. This is to emphasize player skill to the best of the organizer's abilities. Of course, it's impossible to approach perfection in terms of player skill in a free-for-all game mode like this, but we're trying our best.
I mean, if you've played this many games within the same amount of people, eventually you really figure out who is the champion among those 4 or among those 8, as so many games are replayed with the same people. I think it's a good way to figure out the champion here.
Yeah, there's also another term for the champion in terms of gameplay after the champion has been decided, or it's arch enemy.
Yes.
I know that there's a few arch enemies in this Mean 16 metagame. There are people who are the meanest of them all, and that's also the meanest of them all is the final champion of the tournament. But before that, I think there will be some waypoint champions that people are going to focus on. Definitely.
That is true, Spillin Face. There are definitely some issues with the best off in free for all. I actually had a scenario where someone said, "I'm gonna king make Mons because if Mons wins, that won't affect the ranking." In one tournament we had locally.
So that brings up a good point. And Spleen is referring to it in the chat right there. So there is one artifact of this tournament that is very unique in the fact that like yesterday, somebody didn't have the mana for the counter spells pact.
Pact and negation. Yeah.
Yep, and basically did a suicide pact to keep the player who was about to win from winning, even though it was going to knock them out of the game. And the goal was just to keep that person from winning, so that way the pod could continue, so they'd have the opportunity the next round or in the next game to potentially win. So that's it's kind of a strange thing in tournaments, but in this, it's just like this added layer of strategy that has been employed several times over the course of these games. So it's very interesting. If let's see, double stop me for yeah, it did. Spleen was the unfortunate benefactor of of those two. Yeah. So I'm curious as to whether or not, as we're approaching the end, if
I've been on both the receiving end, winning that scenario, and being on the suffering end, someone casting a Pact of Negation turn 1. So I really have an opinion about it. It kind of is what it is. I think it's
outside suicide pacting. A really contentious subject, but in terms of the tournament structure and the incentives beyond the current game at hand, it is in terms of my perspective, at least, in the light gray area of morality. Clay, you had something to say.
Spleenface is making a point. Like it's the right thing to do. So it's, I mean, we're playing CEDH, and in CEDH you play to your outs, and if your outs is to actually die because you lose the battle, but you win the war mentality. That's
Spleenface just being roasted on a cross, saying, "I can't be even mad."
Honor and mini awards are in the order. Big strategy, big brain strategy. That was some really big brain strategy, or some big brain plays from Mundas in the final up there. He really worked around getting through that combo. Now we have everyone in the same position, and we're gonna figure out turn order here pretty soon. Unless they've already done that, because I'm seeing opening hands.
Yeah, in terms of cockatrice, board order, it's decided by the order of entry to the lobby. Yeah. And seeing as we are keeping at the same lobby, it's basically the same board order, but and also the starting order is going to be the same as well, because Ondas won the game, so he will be going last again. So
we have the exact same structure setup. Killstars being first, Heliod from Michael, and Bad Dog Kalia, and Undas Ikra Kram.
Deja vu.
Oh, no, Ikra Kram. Deja vu.
You were not mistaken. So we have two first 7 keeps from Ondas and Michael both.
I feel sorry for Michael here, actually, being the only stacks mono white deck here. It's
Should we talk about that? Because I was alluding to this before, but
shoot.
From my experience, you were a stacks player at heart.
No, I am a control player at heart in all forms of Magic. But
big difference.
Big difference. But stacks is kind of a really good way of controlling the game in multiplayer. As counter spells are, in my opinion, better at protecting your combo, but not great at preventing people from winning. If you counterspell, for example, if you counterspell one Adnos, another Adnos might resolve because you consumed your. But that's, sorry. Yes, you're quite correct.
Yeah, counterspells don't break parity unless the spell you're protecting is literally winning you the game. So stacks is a form of control in a way, and I can see that in with your CC deck, which has been developing over the months a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of things to figure out with that. What was your question in general, by the way?
It was just your experiences being the slower player in the table, being readied up against 3 fast decks.
It is not a place you want to be at, honestly. It is.
Look at that turn 1. Sorry to disrupt you, but
it's okay. This is also one of the positions you don't want to be in, regardless of it resolves. No force of will. So we're seeing an amazing turn 1 from Killstar. Land, Mana Crypt, Chromox, Wheel, first person in turn order.
Yeah, that was a really good segue, by the way. Speaking of positions where you don't want to be at the receiving end of, this is Exhibit A for that kind of stuff. So, I think Killstars is taking us all to Brazil. I think.
Yeah. Yes.
At least Michael got a land in, but yeah, let's see the graveyards. So Ondas had a dockside hand with a turn 1 dockside from the Elvis Spirit Guide, and Imp Seal, back to negation, Felwar Stone. It was such a good hand going last. And there it went. Lotus Petal Swamp from Kalia, but his graveyard was Wheel of Fortune Soul Ring, 2 wheels and a Soul Ring, and an Imp Seal. Such a good hand, that as well. And Michael had a Jewel Lotus, 3 lands, a cool Delta Forge Master, which tutors for artifacts on the field by sacrificing artifacts, a Grasp of Fate, and a Scrapyard Recombiner. So, all right, there's the Remora, but okay, but not.
That's pretty good. I mean,
not the worst things to get wheeled to, but yeah,
we're probably gonna see an entire turn cycle here, and that fish could get feeded a little bit. I mean, these decks aren't the ones that are holding back. And look at like this. As a stacks player, Michael here, you need to put some pressure here in the table to slow things down. He kind of needs to develop a stacks board state 2, almost, so that he can hold down all the combo pieces, all the fast mana rituals artifacts here a bit.
Yeah, Kill Stars is definitely the arch enemy at this point.
Yes.
And we'll see how the table will round up to try and keep him from going off. Enlightened Tutor for something along the lines of Breach.
Is this before his... Yeah, this is upkeep, so it's before his draw.
Is he getting a Breach, a Wish Claw, or something else entirely? He doesn't have a fully stacked grave yet to really abuse Breach, so...
I agree. I'm thinking it all comes down to what he has in his hand. He might just grab a Soul Ring to ritual out something expensive, or a Chains of Mephistophelies. That one is feeding Breach. Not really. Oh well, it's denying card or 2.
Leyline of the Wheel. Yeah, I agree with you, Splain. Like, well, it's not really a matter of agreeing or not. It's speeding up straight facts. None of
Ristic Study.
Oh yeah, Ristic Study. Yeah,
it's a good choice.
That gives him the long game. It's just a matter of sweeping up the board in a couple of turn cycles.
Then a question right back at you. I know that you're like to play the more proactive, odd-nas, fast combo sort of styles. What is your opinion about a stacks deck inside the pod? What is your experience of that?
Depends on how many. Always depends on how many.
True.
But I have written a little bit about this in my Bad Farm primer. Very recently, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If it's one, you usually want to leverage the political axis. That stacks is actually very difficult to play if you're the only stacks player. Not just gameplay-wise, but also politically, because people want to try and win. And you're trying to stop them from doing that. So you're 3 against 1. So it's very hard politically as well to prevent everybody from just ganging up against you. And as a fast combo player, you can really abuse that if there's just one stacks player in the game.
Stoneforge Mystic and Ristic Trigger. I really agree. I think the games you kind of win as a solo stacks player is where other people want to get rid of your stacks piece, but they are protecting your stacks piece in the current situation because someone is going to win if that one goes this turn.
But the latter one is very much easier said than done, because many
it
people are incentivized to also get rid of those stacks pieces.
Yes.
And they don't want to use the interaction for it themselves, most likely. There's a really big risk for the stacks player they have to really sell the pitch. They really have to get the pitch through on
I agree.
that these stacks pieces should be protected so that this guy doesn't go off. So and that's what you wanna abuse as the fast combo player. You just force everybody to give in to their secret desires of getting rid of those stacks pieces. Or if the stacks player overloads the board, you just say that, okay, let's beat down the stacks player.
Yeah.
Everybody play their chromes and
Yes.
beat down. And they can't really do much. It's sad for the stacks player, but true.
I
It's
think
like
that depends.
majority privilege.
Yeah. That is a big problem when you're playing stacks sometimes. If you're able to overflow the board, you kind of become the arch enemy, just like you say here.
But then the same applies vice versa. If you're against 3 stacks players as a combo deck, there's no way you're gonna win most of the time.
No. That's a very, very horrible pod to be in.
Yeah, for the fast combo player. The stacks players will rejoice though. They will get to play their fair magic.
Fair magic.
Well, you get punched down in a couple of turns, and
Yeah.
And then it's 3DH after that.
Sylvan Library. Chromox into Sylvan Library.
I do like that Ondas as the last player is still getting those engines down even after the turn 1 wheel to try and desperately catch up with kill stars.
Yes.
But I don't think I think he has just too much of a tempo advantage here. Yeah,
I agree.
He's got such a lead.
Also, Ondas is tapped out currently, and kill stars can now develop even more without caring in various directions. Being an 8 cards in hand too is.
Yeah, Michael basically tries to police the board with permanents. He doesn't have many instants in his deck.
Is a comment from the chat. Convincing people to protect my Archon of Emir is oftentimes as hard sell, but desperation can often turn the tide. True?
Very true, Chance. I don't know if Bad Dog has his fun policing skills still kept from the last game. He still has 3 mana up. There could be an agent just like coming in to ruin Killstars' day. You never know.
I think if Killstars lands a Hull Breacher here, Ondas' entire game structure might crumble a bit.
Hope of Europer. That's a Tymna staple right there.
Yes.
A card that I also am very known playing a lot with Tymna decks.
I think it's a great card.
Yeah, it gives Metalcraft, so it has to be great.
Yeah, that's the reason you play it.
Yeah, people ask me continuously, why do I play Stonecoil Serpent in a Tymna deck? And I just say Metalcraft. And Threshold Father. You can play it for 0 to beat your Cabal Ritual. That's also
True.
All right, so Killstar hasn't taken everyone to Brazil just yet. Michael has a turn. And let's see if he gets to play. He doesn't have a land.
Oh.
Done yet. Not yet, at least.
He's activating Stoneforge here, I think. What it looks like.
Mask of Memory.
Yep.
Yeah, same mana cost, but that skips the ability to be countered, which is quite improbable, but still.
Can you activate Stoneforge in instant speed? I think you can, right?
You can. Yeah, you can. You can.
Wow.
You may. Yeah. It's an instant, so he could have done that later on, but like, how many times with that deck do you have to use Stoneforge's ability in the first place? And how much instance does that deck have? Not many. He does have a few, like the Path of Exile that we knew last game. So
I'm guessing also plays Angel's Grace.
I can check it out.
And I have seen him play it before, and I guess maybe he has it now too.
He doesn't play Angel's Grace.
Okay. So now it's Bad Dog's turn. Are we gonna see Kalia, or are we gonna see? We're not seeing. Yeah, we could see Kalia.
How lucky did he get from the turn 0 wheel?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
he has gotten a few top decks on top of that. So
yes.
We don't know. Like, Bad Dog is definitely a wild card right now. We don't know. We don't know if he has a good hand or a bad hand. All right. We have an end phase wait.
Wait, what is
First,
happening?
oh, so Ondas is creating tokens. Maybe they're just joking around or something.
Okay.
Hull breach instead of hull breacher.
All right.
Yeah, I think Ondas is just joking around.
Talisman of Indulgence, and I'm guessing he's paying 3 mana for the Ristic Study here.
All right,
That's a good play.
Yeah, like I can see the love that Bad Dog is producing to this table by being the police in the first game, and now that he's like so law-abidingly paying for the Ristic Study as well, while everybody else, well, maybe Michael is as a Stacks player also is more on the law-abiding. Yeah, the mask he used it to skip the Ristic Study exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
Use the Stoneforge for that. Yes.
I always respect players who pay for Ristic Studies and fishes.
Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna help them win though. Right now this is more or less a duel between Ondas and Killstars, in which Killstars is definitely in the driver's position.
Definitely. But if I'm looking over at the enchantments and artifacts, if Kalia lands a dockside, the table could turn really quickly. Unless it's counterspell, of course, but
thank you, Sinistra. Thank you, Sinistra. So he's saying, I can hear Ondas now when making those tokens. Yeah, sure, I'm gonna go off. I totally have Dark Ritual Pact and Nausea in hand, guys. Exactly. Thank you for putting it in words, Sinistra. Yeah, we have the visual representation of the table talk being provided to us by the chat. But yeah, it's like as commentators without access to the voice chat right now, we only know a very small piece of the puzzle here. There's a whole thing that we are only slightly aware of because we know these people to some extent, and that's the human side of things. So what kind of people is Ondas? What kind of person is Killstars? Bad Dog, Michael? These things, some of them are, what is the silent information? So we can tell everybody, everything here, but some things, like, for example, Bad Dog's utilitarian perspective can be seen as as paying for the Ristic and also stopping people from winning in the first game in clutch situations.
How often do you play against people's personality is the way of saying it? Like if you played against your own play group, you have your friends you often play against. How often do you think about, now I'm up against this person, and not just his stick? Is that ever come into your considerations of decisions?
It's actually at the core of my cEDH philosophy. It's the person first, the deck second, and in terms of the decks, it's more like they're not playing the decks that they're playing. I'm playing all of the decks in the board, and some of them I can influence but not control fully, and then one of the four I can control fully. But I'm playing against the people, not the decks. The decks are tools that I can use myself. That's how that's my philosophy for cEDH. I'm the sneaky guy who likes to do some sales pitches or something. Well, maybe not that much. I'm a lazy guy in terms of like casual games. I'm just cracking jokes and stuff. But like if it was like a tournament ladder like this, I would definitely at least be thick-skinned when people start table talking and putting attention away from themselves, and I would call that shit out like a lot.
What do you mean? Like don't
For example, like if somebody's saying, "Oh well, look, he's gonna go off with ad nauseam or something." Like let's say that Killstars was the guy who proposed that Ondas is gonna dark ritual ad nauseam. While he's the one who has the rig stick study and the turn 0 wheel, I would definitely be making those tokens as on that and shouting to the chat to the table that yes, totally. I want to hear that from you, Killstars, like that. Yeah, I would totally think I'd do that.
I think we have a mystical tutor for a mnemonic betrayal from Killstars here. And we do have big graves all over the place. And it's the passing of turns from Ondas. Can we sculpt a win from this? We just 4 grave. We have 9.
We have an agent. We do have a rushing river. I almost thought there was. I thought that there was an agent coming from those 3 tapped, but yeah, rushing river.
He's paying for Ristic Study here, I think, because I think that is 2 mana.
That's 3 mana.
It's 3 mana.
Yeah, it's a 3 mana instant, which says bounce target non-land permanent, and it has a kicker of sacrifice a land. And if you sack a land, which he
does, I think.
Which he did. Did he? I think he did. Yeah, Overgrown Tomb.
Yeah.
He's going to bounce another non-land permanent. So it's a 3 mana instant, sack a land, bounce 2 target non-lands.
What is that doing to Mnemonic Betrayal? Ristic Study trigger on the Rushing River.
So he's getting rid of the Hope of Girapur as well.
That's clever. Strangely, Hope of Girapur is great when you want to combo off. People often forget that.
That's what it's in there for. Among other things.
I thought it was in there for Metalcraft.
Among other things. One of which is Metalcraft.
Yes.
we have a huge sandwich of a stack going on. 2 Force of Wills against the Rushing River, trying to bounce a Ristic Study, and more importantly, Hope of Girapur.
This is a very important thing to talk about. Currently, there are 2 a fish and a Ristic Study being feeded from this. That is not really helping out, as they are both netting ±0. But I think Bad Dog and Michael is falling behind here, just like you talked about previously. That this is Ondas and Killstars kind of game.
Yeah, they are trading secrets.
Oh yeah, that's the card. However,
yeah, go ahead.
If Force of Will goes, Ondas ways of stopping Mnemonic Betrayal also goes a little bit off. What do we have in these graves? He has the mana for. He has 6 mana.
Yeah, Killstars has now 7 with the land, and he has a Brainstorm, Enlightened Tutor, Force of Will, Mystical Tutor, Time Twister, and Wheel, and then 4 lands in his graveyard. And there's the Meme Betrayal, so that's gonna give him a lot of gas because there's a Dockside on Ondas's grave. There's like these very, very carefully thought out openers that he got to turn 0 Wheel away from others.
Yeah, he has the mana for a lot here too.
Yeah, and Dockside, yeah, he will get more than enough treasure from
And now here comes Bad Dog tapping the talisman.
What about Bad Dog is trying to save the table once again.
Tomb. What is... There might be a very interesting Entomb.
Yeah, because in any general situation, entombing something to his grave when Mnemonic Betrayal is being resolved would only help the person casting the Mnemonic Betrayal. So I'm very curious as to what he's
there might be feeding this Mystic Remora to give Ondas a card draw.
There's also, yeah, that's definitely a thing that he's...
But yeah, Entomb into Mnemonic is...
Yeah, that is kind of sus, to be honest.
Yes. I don't think there's any coercion though. That I doubt.
Yeah, he might just get a land to his grave and just feed the Remora, like you said. I think that's the thing that he's trying to do here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in terms of accepting your role in the table, Bad Dog is definitely throwing himself under the bus here too.
Yeah.
To just let the game go on and with the non-0% chance of him getting back before somebody else can win the game, but like...
Yeah. However, if Bad Dog has to choose here, I think he prefers Killstars winning this game, because if Ondas wins the game is over, and that means Bad Dog can't win this little segment.
All right, so Razageth is going to the grave, so he is actively feeding the Remora as well as at the same time advancing his own game plan by putting Razageth there. Like not it's not something that Killstars really can abuse.
No, I don't think he's gonna reanimate that. Is there a reanimator spell somewhere? But I
don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Nope.
All right. I guess Mnemonic resolves. Yes, they are giving up their graves.
Yeah, and this is where we stretch the cockatrice boards into infinity. Well, it's not as bad as with manual Praetor's Grasping in cockatrice. You know the pleasure of doing that.
Yes.
It like that actually reaches into the next dimension when you put the whole deck on the table.
Yeah.
To give it to the other player.
I guess what they just did here is just to put everything in exile instead, and now Killstars can just look at their exile piles instead, which is smoother for us.
Yeah, it's way smoother for them and also way smoother for us. So
yeah.
Know that if
all right,
plays...
all right, Leptis, let's put together a win con here for Killstars before Killstars figures it out. Let's see if we can sculpt our minds together. We have wheels. We have... Do we want to use anything from that? No, I don't think we want to use anything from the Heliod player.
Yeah, not from Michael, I don't think. Unless it's like going for big brain Kuldotha Forge Master lines, but that's a creature, so it needs haste. So Dockside is number 1, definitely.
He has, I see an Imperial Seal and a Fateless... Is that a Fateless Looting?
Fateless Looting, yeah. That's also the 2 Imperial Seals, actually.
Yes, and a mystical tutor.
Yeah.
So if he can get 2 card draws, he can tutor up the 2 card combos and win here. Fierce Guardianship is being casted, or
Yeah,
no?
I think so.
Dockside was casted.
I'm not sure if it's. He cannot target Dockside, so.
No, he can't. But there's a Cabal Ritual there as well. I mean, is Undas doing the same thing again as creating tokens here?
I can see from. No, that Fierce Guardianship is an actual Fierce Guardianship, but from the stack. Unless he made them into the stack.
He's not allowed to cast Fierce Guardianship, actually. So.
No. I think those are cards that, like it says that he's playing them from exile, so it might be just that Killstars is playing them from Ondas's exile. Those are.
I see. He cast dark. He cast the Cabal Ritual there, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about the Fierce Guardianship though.
Lion's Eye Diamond. I guess we're gonna see some big brain puzzles here.
Yeah, I think it's something along the lines of Imperial Seal of Breach on the top, Faithless looting it, and then into Brain Freeze and win.
Yeah.
That's like what I would think.
Yeah.
That would come off the top of my head first, but.
What do we have in Killstar's graveyard?
Killstar's Grave, the both wheels, Mystical, Enlightened, Brainstorm, and Force of Will, and then 4 lands. So not
he can.
There's the Breach. He entombs the Breach.
Clever.
And
now he just needs
in hand. Okay, that's the final piece of the puzzle.
And and then he just needs to Mystical Tutor or find. Or no, is there a maybe casting Wheel of Fortune here is unnecessary pathway? Let's go Mystical Tutor instead, maybe.
He doesn't. He has the Fatal Looting. Bad Dog, so like he doesn't have to risk it.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's risking it with Wheel because it gives cards to other people.
Yes.
So he's just going to top deck Tutor, Brain Freeze, and draw it with Faithless.
Yep.
Or if he has 6 cards in hand, he could have something else. But according to public knowledge,
yes,
it's the line. All right, there's the Imp Seal for the Brain Freeze. Yeah, this is. We are going to Brazil, folks.
If Killstars wins the game after this, we're going to Brazil.
Yeah.
But this one is going for Brazil, definitely.
Yeah, this one is. It was pretty much a foregone conclusion with the turn 1 wheel from Mana Crypts and Fast Mana, and then the Rhystic Study was pretty much half of the final nail in the coffin. Even with Ondas trying to catch up desperately with Remora and Sim Library. Yeah, Brainstorm. Yeah, he can use that now. Because he has the Bridge, he doesn't even use the Fatal Looting. And there's the Brain Freeze.
And now we have it assembled. The Brain Freeze, Lion's Eye Diamond, Breach combo.
And then what happens next is Michael Levine saying Kozilek trigger. And then everybody goes, what? No. He's not playing Kozilek, so. But it's just something that you sometimes come across against in playing against rogue decks. It's Kozilek trigger. Oh, you were playing that combo, Mesmeric Orb and stuff. It's like, hell yeah.
I haven't seen a Kozilek in ages, actually.
All right.
I think it was the last time Shuffle Hulk.
True. I get to see Kozilek every other day because we have a feather player in our local metagame who loves playing like Kozilek loops, despite not liking Gitrog itself.
I want a Kozilek loops without Gitrog.
Yeah, just like Four Horsemen, pretty much.
Yeah.
Four Horsemen loops. So you cannot kill that person with a brain freeze.
Yeah, but you don't really need to. Just mill yourself and fast as Oracle and shrug.
Yep. And then he plays Angel's Grace. What?
and then you cry. You put cry on the stack.
Yeah. Rarely that miracle and occurs, but there. He has those outs with those two particular combos.
It is kind of fun when it happens. You sit there and watch someone with the 4 counter spells in their hand. They just, okay, I can't do anything. GG, bye guys.
The most powerful stacks piece, have you thought of it, is just revealing a Force of Will in your hand.
Yes. That is actually one of the best things to do as a stacks player. If you go back to that conversation, sometimes you can't have people going for it. You have to reveal to them that I have a counterspell, and if you go for it, you're gonna be stopped, and we're gonna pass turn to him, and he's gonna go for it, and then I don't have my Force of Will anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. It's you use information as a commodity, and that's one thing that really differentiates from the good from the great players.
Yeah.
Using that information as leverage, even revealing giving up your own information because you know you're not the only person in the table that can help this situation or stop this bad situation from happening.
Yeah. And I think it.
The same goes the opposite way. Do you want to play this stacks piece because it stops the two other players that could catch up and slow down the fastest player? Are you slowing them down so that the fastest player can still win the game? Things like this. It's very hard to evaluate.
If you asked me about things and stacks before, I often think about who am I currently affecting, and is this the right person to affect? Am I just hosting one player and just boosting another player with this play? That is something you often have to think about.
Yeah.
If you want to play control, you really have to think about that, in my opinion.
Yeah. And it's definitely not the easiest way.
No, it is very hard. Just like you said previously, you're playing all 4 decks, but you only control one of the decks. I think that you really need to learn. If you want to be good at this format, you need to learn the ins and outs, the decks you're playing against really quickly. And that's game, I believe.
Yep.
That was a Underworld Breach, Brain Freeze, fast as finish, I'm guessing.
Yep. It was basically going through the motions after the Brain Freeze, so so I think he milled a couple of cards, and I think they didn't even go for the fast circle there. I can see.
I guess you could just explain it. Right in there. Yeah.
Proposing a shortcut that I win.
It was a very clear just Wheel of Fortune, establish a little bit control, draw cards, Mnemonic Betrayal, assemble something.
Yeah. So now we're going away from the lobby, I think, and they're making a new one to re-randomize the board order. We'll see in a moment.
What do you think of Mnemonic Betrayal? I kind of like it. It feels like a strong card in the meta-ish, as there are so many mirror matchups here. For example, in this pod.
Mnemonic Betrayal is a card that really feeds. It gets fed from the meta it's in, or gets starved, either or.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like using graveyard as a way to make your decks more consistent, that's a pretty universal thing. So unless you're against like 3, 4, like two to three decks every game that plays like Rest in Peace, or like just has a Time Twister as their only recursion engine, Mnemonic Patrol might not be the best card, but you can still use it as an active combo piece when you are playing wheels.
Yes.
And also, if you're playing artifact or non-land permanent wipes, one of them being the new Culling Ritual. Have you seen that card?
What does that one do again? I remember the name, but I don't see it I don't see it currently in front of me. What does it do? Culling Ritual. Well, Culling.
Yeah, Culling Ritual. Yeah, it's
Is
a Strixhaven card, and people have been talking about it in the castings before. I think Ernesto and
is that a green black thing with 4 mana? Or am I me?
Yes, so it's a green, black, 2 generic sorcery, and it says destroy each non-land permanent with a CMC 2 or less.
Yeah.
Any combination of green and or black to your pool to the amount of equals to the amount of non-lands that you destroyed.
That should have so much potential. So much potential.
Example, for example, with Mnemonic Betrayal, you can just wipe the board and play pretty much all the rocks that you just destroyed.
Yeah. Because I'm guessing one thing that you're always looking for when you play Mnemonic or Yogg Will is that you're looking for rituals to then help puzzle out all the tutors and card that you need to cast. And that card is kind of fixing that. Being a ritual itself and getting more rituals from rocks. I have actually never gone up against it yet, but I'm certain that that card is going to be played a lot.
Yes, and I've been playing it a lot, and holy crap! As an ad nauseam player, that card is so much gas.
I can imagine.
Kills the stacks, the cheap stacks at least, and gives you all the mana for appear into the abyss pretty much every game.
Yes. I wanted to mention that as a stacks player, I think that card is going to be a big problem.
Yes, stacks lives and dies by the board position, and that card just destroys it while being mana positive at the same time.
Yes.
It's super gross.
Yes. I mean, stacks players usually have big board states.
Yeah, that's how they stay alive.
Yeah. Killstar is the starting player again, 3rd turn in a row.
Yeah, this time Michael is still in the last place, not the last, but 3rd to last place. No. He's been second.
Bad Dog basically swapped place with Michael, kinda. And
Yeah, turn 1 wheels, left and right.
It's a good question. I actually think Bad Dog might keep his hand. Wild guess. I mean,
Yeah, definitely. This luckily is a wheel of misfortune and not a wheel of fortune or a time twister or something on those lines. So that means that he's okay. He's actually going to wheel. Okay, he's going to wheel. What a boss! I don't know what Bad Dog is going for. Let's see this opener. So he had two. Yeah, he had 2 lands, black and white both. A Simian Spirit Guide, a Rite of Flame, Imperial Seal, Razaketh, and a Wish Claw.
I like this. Putting Razaketh down to the grave. If he top stakes like reanimate here.
Yeah, he just needs. Well, he's just risking really hard here because he might get a hand without lands. I always mix those words up. But
here comes Serra Ascendant. Nice.
Let it be known that that Michael is not the only one playing Serra Ascendant in this table, and the other one is not Bad Dog. Bad Dog is not playing Serra Ascendant, but out of all these people, it's actually Killstars who is playing Serra Ascendant.
I'm not surprised. If he plays, what's the name? Hope of Girapur, he probably plays the Serras too.
Yes, he is taking a few notes from the original Mad Farm decks book. Yes. He's playing. He's also playing couple of the double white cards that are not. Well, Abolisher is usual, but he's also playing Ranger Captain of Eos as a Abolisher number 2, which also gets those Hope of Girapurs and Saracens. So you don't see that in a blue farm-ish list that this deck really much is. That Killstars is playing.
I guess there are a lot of different, or a few variations to how you assemble blue farm.
There are pretty much as many ways as there are blue farm players, most likely. Well, at least with a couple of swaps here and there.
I'm gonna love to see where the Serra Ascendant is going to town.
I think it's.
I'm just gonna guess Ondas.
I think it's Ondas because like it has the biggest chance of actually affecting the game with the life total deficit.
Phantasm, was that a Phantasm? Oh, Chromox Phantasmal Image.
Yeah, it's getting pitched. So there's Jessica's wheel for 7 because of Bad Dog. Yeah, Bad Dog is in a bad place. Yeah, he drew and discarded. He didn't even get a land, or he wanted to put a Willis into the grave and time walk himself. But I doubt that's a thing he really wanted to do. So
wait, did Bad Dog actually not play? Yeah, he didn't play a land.
No, he just discarded to hand size, and he got a Willis. Like that Willis is giving me hope that he still has a hand that can play the game, but I really
all he needs now is Swamp Reanimate, and Bad Dog is in the match.
Yeah, he could just Swamp Reanimate and play the most broken card printed in Magic, which is bargain from or contract from below. But strictly better because you don't have to discard your hand. You draw 8 cards instead of 7 cards, and you don't need to put any cards into ante because that's what that card does. And you get an 8/8 flyer. So, and Ondas is complaining in text that he's being bullied, but
I can see why. Yeah. You don't attack Michael with the Timna.
Yeah, he has already won game.
Yeah,
he's in target. He's being targeted for for a lot of reasons now.
Yeah.
Not just
In
his
terms of
fault.
arch enemy, it's Bad Dog and Killstars that the table is afraid of.
Yeah.
So Unda's turn. What will Undas do? Undas will Cabal Ritual.
He's just going for it, or
Why
he's
not?
just trying to get one of the commanders going. All right,
Nope,
he's going for
he's
it.
going for it.
Yeah, here we go. Time
Now-
to get some pita kebab.
That is 0 lands untapped for Killstars. And does he have a force or force of negation? That's what we need here. That's what we don't have. And we have resolved Peer into the Abyss. I think this could actually be it. This could be the match. Game set and done. Checkmate.
Yeah, I think that resolves.
Yeah. If that resolves, I don't see a world of Undas fizzling this.
Yeah, he resolved. He drew 42.
Yeah, he hasn't even made a land drop yet, I believe. Or am I missing? Or did he make? No, he made a land drop here, I think. Yeah, he did. Right, he did.
It's like, yeah, he has won this game. Most
Yes.
likely that result. There's so few. He has to play around a mental misstep now, but seeing that people could have skimmed, like Killstars could have skimmed through the mental misstep when it comes to that mana vault. So he might, that this dark ritual could be like a mental misstep target and stuff, but most likely is like pretty much all the counter spells aside from mental misstep in this format could hit a Peer into the Abyss. So
And they should have been used already. You don't use Yeah.
So like just the fact that it resolved gives Ondas plenty of information if he decides to.
I wanna talk about something while we're waiting for Unda's big brain plays to patch this together. We haven't really seen that much commanders in action in this game, and in my opinion, I think commanders have been seeing a little bit less than play. Or what is your experience of this? Do commanders see more play in your games or less play in your games? Compared to before, or I think you understand the question.
Yeah, so how many times commanders are actually being cast and played in games that I am in? Did I understand correctly?
Yeah.
How much are they utilized?
Or
Or
how much are they utilized? That's a good way to frame it.
Well, in my meta game, they are utilized way more, I think. We don't have that many Chrome decks in which or Chrome X decks, because those decks are mostly like just play Chrome if you don't have anything else. I play Bad Farm a lot, which is a Tymna X deck, but that deck really hinges on Tymna more than many other decks. So I actually play my commander very often. Then there's a Quark Shakashima deck right now, which is pretty much all about getting as many Quarks into play as possible. There's a Feather deck that hinges on getting the card draw from Feather and cantrips. There's a Spell-based stacks deck. There's a Jaleva list, which is more akin to the less usage of commanders, or as a back like a plan B. But like most decks that I'm playing in my local Finnish metagame, they're not turbo nose decks that I play like in my local metagames at the moment. They're more about commander centric decks, but online, seeing Blue Farm, seeing Ikra Chrome, stuff like that, like online landscape, yeah, definitely. I can see them being used less. So yeah, that's the game. And
that's game.
Ondas just
takes it.
Yeah. We didn't go to Brazil.
No. Went to I think it's from America.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, America or Canada. I don't remember where Ondas was from exactly, but Ondas is coming back with his points. He's been in the
Yes,
tail end of this ladder for multiple weeks now, and he has finally gotten back. And against whom? The top person, so the Killstar. So he's getting a
yes.
lot of points here.
That was an important win, but also important just showcase that you have the tools. Your name is to be respected, and that's why we're here, right?
Yeah, he's getting the street cred back. Definitely. Yeah, the game is done, but we are free to do some before our closing words or plugins. We can still
Yeah, we're gonna be replaced by two
I don't know.
others. I don't know either, but I think so.
To be honest, I think because this could have gone for way longer, and that's why a whole day was invested to this pod specifically. So before what I gather, you were casting a different round where there were multiple pods that you were switching in between, right?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
This time, from what I gather, it's not like that. So there has been already 2 pods that have been played out. One of them was the pod 4 that was on Friday, and pod 3 was yesterday on Saturday. And then there's this was pod 1, and then there's one more pod that is pod 2, and that pod is going to be played either tomorrow on Monday or on another date entirely when the people can get together and have had their schedules match up. So the TLDR is that we're actually done for tonight in terms of
Indeed.
terms of games. Yes, from what I gather, and Clay can feel free to correct me. There's also Tony, who is
Yes, we are done. We are actually done for today. But the stream, I want to talk about something before we just say goodbye and farewell. I love to analyze why the game played out as they did, and I think as this game, there were just 2 games that became really early wheels. That's not much you can do about. Normally, if this game would have had a different direction, I think Michael is a key component in this game because the stack species put in play will direct the flow, kinda. But that never became an option. The games were just too fast here. The Ikra Crom and the Tymna Crom were just too efficient as decks to just perform wins immediately almost.
Exactly, and then the seeding.
Yes.
Is a really big thing. Like when it comes to seeding, when it comes and even in this Mean 16 league is a very good example of that because in Finland we have a lot of fast decks. We have this running gag of saying that cEDH is a dice game and the cards are just there for formality's sake.
Yes.
Is a dice game and a seeding game, like a game of chairs, musical chairs.
I have a comment to that. When Roxilias were the big thing, everyone was just talking about being fast. And my opinion is that you're usually going to be the fastest deck is the one that is rolling turn order better.
Yes.
I mean,
and that's because that's why I also gave you the precedent that there are a lot of fast decks in Finland as well as in this tournament. So the faster the decks are, the more the turn order really matters because there's gonna be less turns. And when there's already a few, like a small amount of turns in a cEDH game without a stacks heavy meta game, if you're gonna lose one turn, it's gonna be like a third or a fourth of your entire game. So it's a really big deal. And seeing as the fastest, one of the most consistent storm decks in the game right now. Blue Farm, a Blue Farm variant, as well as a Ikra Chrome, Suns White Turbonauts are being the first ones to go, or if like Ondas was going last in the first 2 games, but he had a gemstone in the first one, and in the second one, well, he lost. He basically lost because there was the turn 1 wheel, but but going second and in the third game like that just reinforced the fact that, okay, these turbo ghost decks are the ones going first, so we're not gonna see anything really that much different.
That's what I'm also. I mean, I asked you previously about like how much the commanders are showcasing their action in cEDH, because these days the decks are just so good that they almost don't need their commander. They can pretty much do other options, and you see Chrome when they have nothing better to do, kind of. That's
when they've exhausted their very powerful London mulligans to a point that they have to go to 5 or 4 even to be feasibly casting their commanders. But there's enough fast mana in the format, and there's enough in EDH, and there's enough consistency in terms of mulligan. You basically, like, mulliganing is a way of tutoring pre-game. So you're tutoring for the best possible 7 you have, and when you're playing a fast deck, you can really be greedy with those mulligans. Where actually you're most likely with your first or second or the first 6, you're going to get a game plan that does not require your commander at all, and then your commander is kind of the way that, what if I need to mulligan to 5 or 4? Can I still be in the game? Well, yes, because you have fast mana and a Chrome. Let's go. You're unmulliganing yourself back to the game, or at least hoping that happens.
Clay just stood up here. Oh well.
Getting a filibuster. Bored of my filibuster already.
My my Yeti Blue does.
What do you think, Clay?
So
you saw the games?
So I missed the last game. Tony stepped in so that I could get out and walk the dog and stuff. And halfway through my walk, he's texting me saying Ondas is about to close this out. So I quickly shuffle my my way back home, dragging my dogs and stuff. No, I stood up. Every now and again, my peripherals decide they don't want to work, so I had to unplug it and then plug it back in. No, like I'm sitting here listening to you guys. You guys are actually giving a masterclass on the current cEDH environment, which is chef's kiss. Like thinking about what Lepta said about, well, I can't remember. One of you said about not needing the commanders anymore. If you recall, like prior to the flash ban, this was a very commander-centric meta, right? The overall meta was extremely commander-centric. It's almost as if the Flash Ban, Dockside, and Underworld Breach together turn the turning of this meta into a ad nos meta kind of eliminated the necessity.
My belief is that the printing of cards have given us so many good cards that we have basically removed all the bad cards from our decks. Because if you look back at cEDH, we usually played a lot of bad cards, quote unquote, like combo packages for your Hulk package and such. And that made, like, you could draw your bad cards and then you want to have your commander to draw better cards. But now, as you have so many good cards, you're usually just drawing good stuff all the time.
Yeah, and
that's kind of where I think how it ended up.
The term win conless is brings. You know, now all of the cards are so good that you can just have a density, a huge density of great cards and just piece something together from nowhere, seemingly.
Yeah, you will get the game plan from your mulligans. So much to such extent that your commander often enough is just there to fix you from the worst positions. So
Yes.
this brings me a lot of callback to the meta before, actually, well, to a similar kind of meta before Hulk was unbanned, and when Jeleva Doomsday, Zer Doomsday, and stuff like that was actually the uh, the
namesake.
reigning, the namesakes of cEDH. Those decks played Zer, played Jeleva as a plan, not as a plan B, not even a plan C, but as a plan D. Not even plan A, like a plan D when you didn't get those Doomsday or Ad Nauseam hands. But I'm seeing those parallels as we speak in these games in Mean 16. So yeah.
Nice. So I have to say, like, we should have had you guys broadcasting from the get-go. This was like our shortest round ever. And like we've been talking for a little bit, but we're sitting about hour 50, right? Mm-hmm. So you guys came in, knocked it out of the park. Well, Andis knocked it out of the park. Thank you, Andis. But yeah, I'm eternally grateful for you guys coming in, stopping by. Before we conclude for the day, also thank you again for the masterclass on the cEDH meta and what have you. I hope
it's just fun to talk about stuff like that.
It's always my hope that newer players will stick with the streams and the VODs long enough to catch these little nuggets spread throughout. It's always my hope. Plus, there's always the gift of editing after the fact. So, but yeah, before we conclude for today, Leptis,
are you up?
What's
I have a question for you, Clay. Are you uploading any of these games to some YouTube channels?
Yes,
absolutely.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
So here is the current plan. Right now, we're giving primacy to Twitch because Twitch allows us to showcase the games for a week or two. And then even before they expire, I am uploading them completely unedited, the whole thing, to our YouTube channel. There are plans in the works to work with a video editor, and we're going to try to condense the rounds and stuff. So here in the future, once everything is cooled down a little bit, we can present an edited version of the rounds. Because what's tough is like some of these rounds were like this one broken up into 4 pods. So 4 days, 4 pods. So we're going to try to figure out a way to condense those down into either one video or a series of 4 short videos, what have you. But yes, they're available on Twitch immediately, and then going to be archived is the word on YouTube in a playlist. So yeah.
Yeah, what's the channel? Was it Gaming for Tryhards? I think.
So it's Gaming for Tryhards on Twitch. That's because the Tryhards was taken, and even though those sorry people don't do anything with it anyway. But it's the Tryhards on YouTube. Yep.
I can really see that the Tryhards has been taken by YouTube somewhere down the line by a lot of different channels that aren't even Magic related.
So yeah, we are the on YouTube specifically. We are the named Tryhards for YouTube. So that's where you can go find these for posterity.
Very nice. And that probably brings us to the
part where
we plug ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. So before we go, yeah, like Leptis, what's your channel information?
So I don't have an active YouTube channel as of yet. I'm just broadcasting our weekly or bi-monthly games. I don't stream every Wednesday, but most Wednesdays during like early afternoon Eastern time. On twitch.tv/Leptis. You can find me there playing with my local play group, as well as some regulars that you have seen in the chat right now, as well as people who are in the tournament, as well as other people in the cEDH online and Discord. We play basically in English, so people are are free to join us whenever they have the time during early afternoon Wednesday afternoons. So it's evening our time, so it's prime time for us. But yeah, I'll invite a couple of people across the bottle every now and then.
Nice. Mons, what about yourself?
I think everyone knows who I am, more or less, here and there.
Righteous. So for both of these gentlemen, we've actually got it set up to host their stuff on the Gaming for TryHards Twitch. So you can use our channel to find them as well. So the more access, the better, right? So
exactly, right. and we're rooting on Mons getting that 20k subs. He's at like 18 point something, I don't know. And
18,205.
Or you have the exact
number. I don't keep count, I promise.
Yeah. Every second looking at the watch, like
yes, not doing that. So not at all.
Yeah. What's your plan for 20k?
That's
subs?
a good. I really need to think about it.
24-hour sub stream.
What you know what Lept is? You know what Lept is? What should I do? Shoot! I will do it. I want to hear this. When I reach 5k, I made a explanation of the Swedish language, and the 10k I don't remember what it is. So
yeah,
give me a challenge.
I can remind you. It was it was the chiropractor one.
Oh yeah,
where you talked about exercising and health.
Yes, guys, I'm gonna take this opportunity to say, exercising will make your Magic the Gathering games better. You will play better Magic if you go out and run.
Yeah, pump that blood in your brain, so
yes,
you think better.
Right,
exactly.
But you know, let us give me a challenge. Shoot, 20k.
What
deck
can I
video
find?
in Finnish.
You should. No. That's that would be just like a journey to jump off a mountain. Let's not do that. I think an event of some kind would be nice, like a celebration stream where you summon people. That's like one option, and then just editing like the highlights of that, for example. That's one option that I can come up with. Nothing too special, but like that's an option.
So you could jumping off of Leptus's idea, if you do like a community-oriented thing, what you do is you invite your friends over for a long stream chat, but they can't talk about Magic. They can only talk about their pets.
Yeah.
So you do like this. You do this long, like 6-8 hour thing, and be like, hey, tell me about your blah 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 blah. Well, I have a hamster. Well, I have a rabbit. That kind of thing.
Or we just hold out like a like a big masterclass, like part 2, where we talk about these things, but we didn't get to cover because of this being the shortest stream that we had so far. Yeah. Options galore. I'm not the most creative person. I steal from others, but I can rearrange the Lego pieces of creativity in my head. I'm more of that kind of guy. But
righteous.
But events sprout out in my head first of all.
It's a good suggestion. It's it's fun too. It's fun to do.
You should do a poll and then include it on your next YouTube video and have everybody vote. And then you'll be at the whim. You'll be at the whim of the community.
I have one more idea. You get a GoPro if you don't have one, and you
actually have one.
You record the August trip and make a vlog out of that one.
I'm actually already planning to do that.
Okay, well, just
that was a good 20K. Suggestion.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right.
Okay, so while Mons settles on the thing that he's going to do in celebration of 20,000, we will conclude today. Once again, gentlemen, I appreciate you. You have my love, my respect, and we will see you all on the flip side.
Yeah, in the last pod, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, see you later.
See you guys.